Hi, Gloria Brooks here with Nature Glow's eScience. Today I want to talk about how to start becoming a game schooler. So, back in 2019, last year, I worked at a private boarding school for middle schoolers. I was a boarding house parent to three teenagers, along with another female house parent. And I learned very quickly that the teenagers, what did they want to do all day? They actually wanted to play games all day. So on the weekends, Saturday and Sunday, I remember one particular Saturday, it was like raining, sleeting all day. And this is in Burnsville, North Carolina, at the Arthur Morgan School, by the way, in case you've ever heard of that. It's a small school for specifically for middle schoolers, for seventh, eighth, and ninth graders. Yeah, so I have chapstick. Okay, so anyway, it was a Saturday morning, and the kids just wanted to play games all day. There was this one card game. It's killing me. I forget the name of it, but it was like a role-playing game. It was a lot of war involved. But one of our boys was not really a reader. He was 14 years old. I'll change his name um, for privacy's sake. Bradley, I'll call him. So Bradley didn't know how to read. He could write. Just like reading on maybe a first or second grade level. But he absolutely lived for playing this one card game. So, and that was pretty much all we did. All the kids did that day was just play this one card game. So I know firsthand just how miraculous and amazing game schooling can be for you, and how it can be such a game changer, no pun intended. So I learned a lot from the Arthur Morgan School about, I've been an educator since the year I graduated in 1996, but it was just such an eye-opener to see games in action. And this boy, Bradley, he learned to read and write through games. So games can totally, and I know that there are game schoolers. There are homeschool families that's what they do. They do all of their learning through games all day long, every day. And I think that's just super cool. Now, if you don't want to do that, you don't want to be quite that radical, that's cool. You can just supplement. Play a game a day, during a slump time, during the homeschool day, whip out a card game. So I want to get you started with game schooling if you aren't already. If you are already, hopefully you'll still pick up some really cool tips from this video. But really, you only need two things to start out as a game schooler. You don't need to run out and buy, tons of games and pull your hair out trying to budget, buying games. If you want to buy games, buy one a month or something like that. Go to the thrift store, buy a $3 game, 50-cent game, whatever. But if you just have a deck of cards buried in a junk drawer somewhere or on a game shelf collecting dust, grab those. And a playful mindset. That's all you need. The latter being the hardest, Adults are like, homeschool adults are like, oh my gosh, I got to make sure that my kids are learning to read and write, and there's so much pressure, and I got to report all this at the end of the year. And, I would say a relaxed, playful mindset is something that you want to cultivate. And it's a process. All right. So I want to share a few online tools with you that will also help you get started. So you might want to get a pen and paper and write this down, or just pause the video while you do that. Before I dive in and show you these online resources, so the reason I suggest a deck of cards is because pretty much everyone has a deck of cards laying around somewhere. And if you don't, borrow one from a friend or neighbor. So card games, just starting with a deck of cards, you don't have to spend any money. They don't take up much space, and you can port them around. You can have a deck of cards in your glove box, a deck of cards in your purse, and just always have them handy. And then pick together as a family, or, you can spearhead it, pick some games, some card games that you and your kids would love to do together, and experiment and decide. If you guys aren't already game schooling, then you'll want to experiment and explore different games, which I'll give you a list of in just a moment. And also, let's see, I'm looking at some notes here to help me. So some free resources. Now we'll get into the resources. So free resources for finding card games. There's a website called Bicycle website. It's Bicycle. Let me see. So I'm going to show it to you. Flip the camera around. So here it is. All right, bicyclecards.com. And it's also an app. So if you want to pull it up as an app, just go to Bicycle in the app search. So here's a game. It's called Going to Boston. How to play, game setup, how to play, how to keep score. So that's basically what Bicycle is. You just search for games, how to play. Let's see, custom printing. All right, so where do we go to? Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. I just wanted to see if there was a list of games somewhere. Related articles, how to play, how many players. Okay, so just scroll down to the bottom and you'll see all kinds of card games that you can pick from. Hoyle Monkey May I. That's an interesting one. Catching Fish. All right, so go to bicyclecards.com or get the app and you can pick from games there. All right. So you can also look on homeschool blogs. There are famous bloggers out there. You can just Google homeschool card games and you will have so many blogs you won't know where to begin, okay? That's why I showed you the Bicycle app, because I don't want you to get overwhelmed. But here are some games that you can start with. There's a game called Set, Hearts, 5 Crowns, Crazy Eights, War, one called Taco Cat Goat Cheese Pizza. That's the name of it. Spit, Sleeping Queens. But Taco Cat Goat Cheese, I think you have to get their specific cards. So, but War you can play with a deck of cards. Hearts, 5 Crowns, Crazy Eights, I think you can play those with a deck of cards. All right, and then my first suggestion is to connect with your family. This is your opportunity to build social skills as a family, to build empathy, to learn how to take turns, to learn how to share, to learn how to be a good loser, to learn how to be a gracious winner. These are very important social skills that traditional education seems to just not really foster or nurture. So playing games is an opportunity to strengthen those bonds as a family and to learn to cooperate and to learn these other social skills that are absolutely necessary for real life preparation. All right, so go to the Bicycle app, find your deck of cards, get started. Try to find a silly game, something that'll make you laugh. See if you can find a card game on the Bicycle app that'll make you laugh. Or Google search a homeschool blogger, silly card games. All right? And also, this doesn't have to be relegated just to playing cards. Consider playing some outdoor games. And I'm a huge proponent of families getting outdoors, connecting together. You can play kickball, softball. If you don't want to play an organized sport, you can play hide and seek. Kick the can. This is a new favorite of mine. So if you haven't heard of how to play Kick the Can, it's really simple. All you need is at least 3 people and a can and a backyard with space to run around in. So you set up the can. Oh, and probably a rope. You want to have a jail area. So it's kind of like hide and seek on steroids. Maybe I shouldn't use that term. Just hide and seek pumped up, like really revved up. Or how about spicy hide and seek? Okay. So Kick the Can is there's a person that's it. They're the one that cover their eyes and count while everyone else goes and hides. And once it comes around to try to tag different people, as soon as a person is tagged, they go to jail. All right. And that can be a circular, it could be a hula hoop, depending on how many people you have in your family or your neighborhood. It could be a rope that you lay out in a circle, and that's jail. Okay, so now the other kids that are running around, if they can kick the can without getting tagged, then all the people are let out of jail. So that's kick the can. Pretty cool, huh? So it's hide and seek, spicy hide and seek. All right, so those are some ideas to get your game school going. All right, I hope that helps. Throw down in the comments, what are your thoughts? What games would you like to play first? I wanted to look at some card game ideas for you to help you get started. So this is it's called Delia Creates. It's a blog. But here, if you want to screenshot this, here's a list of games that she suggests. Salute the King, Spades, Garbage, also called Trash, Spit, Go Fish. But there's the list. I won't read it all. So grab a screenshot of that. And these are for fun. My first suggestion for you is to pick a game where you and your family are going to laugh and have fun, just to break the ice together if you're not used to playing games together. And here are some educational games: Toss Up, Close Call, an addition game, Math Fact game, Yes, No, You Got It, etc. So take a screenshot of that as well. And there is, if you want to visit this blog, here's the name of it. It's 40 card games for kids. All right, so click on the link with this post and grab my Math Learning Secrets guide while it's on such a steep sale. And I will take you by the hand through this 40-page guide and teach you how to liberate your homeschool from math academic drudgery through fun and real-life connections, such as game schooling. All right, so grab your copy of that while it's available at that price. Also, during this limited time winter season, it's February while this video is recording, so it may or may not be available soon because it is a winter special. It's my Geometric Beauty of Snowflakes online 3-part unit study, ideally for kids ages 10 to 18, but younger kids that are technically savvy or can work with you or an older sibling do well in it as well. So grab those while they're available at that price. And I hope to see you on the inside of Math Learning Secrets and the Geometric Beauty of Snowflakes. Thank you for watching, and give me a thumbs up here and subscribe on YouTube if you're watching me here on YouTube, and talk to you tomorrow.